Hello, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope that you're doing well. Today we are listening to Pantera. We're going to listen to their song Cemetery Gates. This is off of their album Cowboys from Hell, which was released in 1990. So, Pantera, a band that of course I've always heard about, and I don't think that I know anything about them. Correct me if I'm wrong and don't laugh at me. But wasn't some of their music featured in an episode of SpongeBob? I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm recalling that right, but if so, I don't think it was a lot and enough to know their songs. So I know that this is one of their more well-known songs, so I just chose this one to go ahead and give it a listen. Looking at their top songs on Spotify, I don't recognize any of them. Let me just play the top one, which is Walk. I just want to play it to see if I happen to recognize a little bit. This kind of sounds familiar. Isn't it just like a... Yeah, okay. I've heard this one. Okay, so I have heard Walk. Okay. I don't know if I know any of the other ones. Maybe I'll know Cemetery Gates. Who knows? But we'll find out very, very soon. Hope that you guys are having an absolutely lovely day. As always, thank you so much for being here. And if it's your first time, hope that you enjoy your time here. Let's go ahead and get into it. This is Pantera with Cemetery Gates. Actually, hold on. Let me pull up the album. I didn't have it right here. Okay, got it. This is Cemetery Gates by Pantera. That's a cool name, though. Pantera.
Crucified for no sins, and
All right, that was really, really, really cool. I really love the way, especially at the end of the track, how the vocals they start and just go off like a firework into the sky. Like he goes far, and then the guitar comes up like I can do that too. Just follows right behind him. Then he goes again. Guitar goes again, and then it goes just a little higher. Just a. Well, I always crash when I went a little higher. It goes just a little higher, and guitar's like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, it's like fireworks, shooting stars. They're just chasing after each other. This was a great track. This was really good. This, hear me out, right? So I know Walk. This sounds to me like a combination of, hear me out, okay? This sounds to me like a combination of the thrashiness, not overly heavy, but a certain thrashiness of Metallica, the groove of a band like Sepultura, and then the vocals, which are heavy, but also the melodic nature of them, of Alice in Chains. You take all those combinations, you put them together, and I think you get a song kind of like Cemetery Gates. Really standout vocals. The guitar is just the way I like it. From the kind of haunting graveyard-like leads that are playing, especially in the beginning verses, to the heavy bum, bum, bum. I love that. I'm very sure that a band like Pantera has probably influenced a band like Slipknot. And I just like the guitar sound that metal bands like that have. It's just one that it does something to me. It hits the right way. I love that kind of distortion. I also like how this song does a nice job of balancing between more, I don't know if it's acoustic specifically, but more lighter moments and lighter picking from the guitar, of course, with the heavier nature. It moves from open, soft-spoken and sung verses into powerful and heavy choruses. The song just has a very nice balance, and I think that it's a track like this that would do a fantastic service in introducing perhaps people that aren't into metal, showing people that there's more to metal than just it's a lot more than that, and this would be one of those tracks to do so. For example, my first entry, if I'm thinking back, into actual classic metal was probably Metallica, and I heard Trivium's cover of Master of Puppets, which I really liked, which led me to find the original by Metallica, which led me to buy Master of Puppets, and then Ride the Lightning from there. So that was kind of like my journey, even though before that, and aside from that, I had already listened to bands like Slipknot and stuff like that, so I was used to heavier things, but it was nice to kind of travel back a little bit, see the roots. So with a band like Pantera, this album was released in 1990, I believe I said? Yeah, 1990. So this seems to be like a nice progression of those bands, and then of course mixing it and how you get into the groove, metal, and not grunge, but a slight maybe alternative vibe to it, maybe just a little bit. Let's talk about some of the members here though, because like I said, I really did enjoy what everyone was doing. Also, the bass can be heard, which is always a nice thing. So the vocals are by Phil Anselmo, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Phil Anselmo. I thought, great. Did you guys like the vocals on this one? Because I thought they were very, very strong, melodic, and soft when they needed to be. And like I said, very powerful without going over the edge. For example, at I think 2 points in the midst of the song, he does hit a high note, but he kind of like short stops it. He doesn't hold the note and kind of overly, do it at those moments. It goes kind of right back into the rest of the music. He only really shows off in the end of the track. And that's just like I said, a firework in the sky versus a shooting star. It's just lights in the sky blasting away. But I really like that about him. He has a lot of control over his voice. The guitars are by Diamond Darrell, Dimebag Darrell. I have always heard that name. I have always heard the name Dimebag Darrell, and I didn't know he was from Pantera. Okay, well, that makes sense why he's so well known and well revered, because I thought the guitar playing in here was stunning. I love that crunchy guitar that kind of has a little bit of a screech, that kind of classic old metal screech in there. That's good. And of course you get some classic riffing here. There's just a thrashing in the mosh, you know? And I like that stilted in. Ba-da-da-da-bum, bum, bum. That's good. Kind of slows everything back into pace as it moves into those softer bits, which I was trying to find, but I didn't do a good job of that. Let me just go back to the beginning, where it kind of sets up mood. You know, this is just a very beautiful opening and a nice stark contrast to what comes later, but a contrast which works in its differences and actually feels more complete thereover. This is a really good track. This is a very, very good track. Also, the drums by Vinnie Paul, I thought were really tasty. Perfectly groovy. Once again, not overly done, but there's a few moments in there where he does have a little bit of leeway and a little bit of fun. Let's talk about the lyrics here. Reverend, is this some conspiracy? Crucified for no sins, an image beneath me. What's within our plans for life? It all seems so unreal. I'm a man cut in half in this world, left in my misery. So I'm imagining by that, and cemetery gates, someone died. The Reverend, he turned to me without a tear in his eyes. Nothing new for him to see. I didn't ask why, because he's used to doing this, so of course he's kind of numb to it in a sense. I will remember the love of our souls had sworn to make. Now I watch the falling rain. All my mind can see now is well, I guess you took my youth and gave it all away. Like the birth of a newfound joy, this love would end in rage. And when she died, I couldn't cry. The pride within my soul, you left me incomplete, all alone as the memories now unfold. So, he does say when she died. This could be a lover, this could be someone he's in a relationship or was in a relationship with, or it could be familial, it could be a mother, it could be a sister, it could be a daughter, it could be anyone. And I like how he says, when she died, I couldn't cry, the pride within my soul. Death and grieving is a very interesting thing. Not everybody grieves the same way. Definitely not everyone grieves the same way. So when he says, I couldn't cry, the pride within my soul, perhaps he was feeling angry, because he does say, you left me incomplete, as alone, or all alone as the memories unfold. Now that he's alone without her, all these memories start to flood back. He can't help but reminisce, and perhaps that makes him angry. Because of pride in his soul, he couldn't cry. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery gates. So what does he mean when he says pass the cemetery gates? That could be passing through to the grave to perhaps see her, to visit her site, passing through the cemetery gates to see her, and perhaps find closure, or the other way, to leave, come out of the graveyard through the cemetery gates, leaving. Either way, perhaps finding closure is what he's looking for. Sometimes when I'm alone, I wonder aloud if you're watching over me someplace far abound. I must reverse my life. I can't live in the past. Then set my soul free, belong to me at last. Through all these complex years, I thought I was alone. I didn't care to look around and make this world my own. And when she died, I should have cried and spared myself some pain. You left me incomplete, all alone as the memories still remain. So I think on a surface level, you could look at this as, he wants to be free of her. He wants to move on. You could look at it like that. I think from what I can tell of this song and just how the progression seems to be going, it's not a lot of time that's like spanning here. So I think that he really is just going through all the grieving processes and we're just watching him going through them. He doesn't necessarily want to move on after she's died. He's just trying to cope at this moment. The way we were, the chance to save my soul, and my concern is now in vain. Believe the word, I will unlock my door and pass the cemetery gates. I think in the end, he's just trying to find his closure. And like I said, whether that is leaving the cemetery or whether that is going to the cemetery, I think closure is the word here. Just pulling up Wikipedia to see if there's anything of interest here, any song facts or anything like that. Says that Phil Anselmo has credited numerous inspirations for the song. In an interview, he said that the song was written about his good friends that had committed suicide. He said there was a friend who had died in NOLA, and it had a real heavy impact within my group of friends. When I wrote the lyrics, I did not want them to be too personal because that can be cheesy, which is true, writing. I also had to make sure that the lyrics would not take away from the song because that was one of our best songs. So you have to tread that fine line of writing a song that is personal and it has meaning to you, but perhaps not to write so direct that, as he says, treading that line towards cheesy, which can come across a little ham-fisted, But I think that the writing in this song was well done and well taken care of. So let me know what you guys thought of the track. Hold on, I'm thirsty after talking. Hold on. Okay. Let me know what you guys thought of the track. You can, of course, let me know in the comments, and I hope that you do. You can also follow me on Twitter, on this place, on that place. You can watch movies with me over on Just JP. You can do so many things, but I do hope you enjoyed your last few minutes here. And I hope that it's not your last few minutes here. Hope that you come back again for whatever else we got going on here on the channel. And I hope that I will see you tomorrow, because I'm always floating around in the comments or somewhere. But thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.